Now, Good Morning Washington on your side.
Right now at 6 o'clock, presidential profanity.
It really takes your breath away. It is incomprehensible that these words came out of the mouth of the President of the United States of America.
The new fallout from the comment that we can't repeat here on TV and the outrage growing worldwide.
Plus, time running out after deadly mudslides, what just happened overnight in California and why that's making the search for survivors even harder.
And rain today and then winter tomorrow. Enjoy this little taste of spring because Eileen Whalen is timing out just how quickly it is all going to change. Good Friday morning to you, Washington. I'm Autria Godfrey.
That's our traffic watch. Back within your next 10 minutes, and we'll show you your commute in Silver Spring. Autria.
Julie, 6:03 and breaking overnight, a suspicious death in Waldorf, and police now trying to identify the woman found dead along Old Washington Road. Take a look at your screen here. They are hoping these distinct tattoos can help them find out exactly who this woman is. Police tell us that the woman is a black woman in her 30s with a design on her right inner wrist, a cherub on her shoulder. You're asked to call police if you know who she might be.
A second night, a second deadly crash on Branch Avenue in Prince George's County. This happened around 6 o'clock last night when a woman was crossing the road at Iverson Street and she was hit by an SUV. Last night's accident, well, take a look. It was only 4 blocks from the one that happened Wednesday night at St. Barnabas Road. In that wreck, a man was hit and killed by an oncoming car. Well, developing overnight, President Trump's profanity making waves all across the world.
The White House not even denying the comments. Suzanne Kennedy is live in front of the White House for us this morning with more on that. Suzanne?
Good morning to both of you. We're not going to repeat the language that was used. Reporting live in Northwest Washington, Suzanne Kennedy. Good morning, Washington.
And at 6:05, lawmakers and diplomats now playing defense, many of them denouncing the president's message. Brian Hughes has that.
Yeah, Autria, reaction, as you can imagine, is swift.
Well, breaking overnight, President Trump up late tweeting just before midnight. He announced he's canceling a trip to England because of Barack Obama. Trump was scheduled to cut the ribbon at the new U.S. Embassy in London next month, but he said the decision to sell the old embassy for, quote, peanuts was a bad idea. Mr. Trump calling out Barack Obama, as he does often, but in reality, that move was actually decided on back in 2008 during the Bush administration. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will now reportedly take Trump's place at that grand opening.
Well, today, the president heading to Walter Reed in Bethesda for his first full physical since taking office. The White House has said it will give the public a readout of the results, but this morning it's still unclear how much info they'll actually release. President Trump has said he expects everything to go well and would be surprised if it doesn't.
Well, new developments this morning out of Baltimore. Yesterday, we showed you this disturbing video posted to Facebook. A hospital kicking a woman out into the cold with nothing but the hospital gown on her back. That left the man recording stunned.
This is disgusting, that they would just leave her unattended on a bus stop, half naked. Let me get you some help. Come and sit down. Come on.
Well, this morning, the head of the University of Maryland Medical Center is responding, saying in part, quote, where we absolutely failed and where we own that failure, is demonstrating humanity and compassion to the woman who was discharged.
Happening right now, take a look at this as we track this winter weather, the snow and freezing rain slamming northeast Arkansas. Not here. You can see sleet and snow building up on cars, wood decks, and parking lots. Now, this is the same system that is eventually headed our way. Eileen Whalen is checking your forecast coming up at about 6:10. But until then, you can grab our Stormwatch 7 weather app for everything you need to know. At 6:08 right now, developing as we speak, the search for victims of the California mudslides is growing more desperate and time might be running out. While you were asleep, rescue crews expanded the search zone for survivors, saying they need to cover even more ground than they first thought. 17 people are confirmed dead and more than 40 are missing. The youngest victim, just 3 years old. Tuesday's mudslides destroyed or damaged about 500 homes and businesses. Some survivors are questioning why authorities called for a voluntary evacuation instead of ordering people to leave.
Here at home, it's back to class at George Washington Middle School. Students staying home the past 3 days after a water pipe broke and flooded the school. Repairs are done, and the fire marshal says the building is safe, so be on time for that first bell this morning. Across the country, more and more schools closing, not because of weather issues, though, but because of the flu. The public health emergencies being declared this morning and the rush to keep you and your family safe. Plus, sacks, screens, and sticky fingers. Alabama's thriving on the national stage, but wait until you hear what one thief stole that nearly sidelined their shot at a title. That's coming up at 6:09.
On this Finally Friday, you can leave the coat at home. Don't leave home, though, without the umbrella. We're taking a live look at the commute in Silver Spring. Altria.
Julie, a heist targeting history.
Someone that most of us respected for his research. To find out that he's been doing this for years is disgraceful.
One man trusted to protect America's past, what he's accused of stealing. Plus, a dangerous trend spreading like wildfire on social media. Wait until you hear what teens are now doing with Tide Pods. That's next.
You're watching Good Morning Washington on your side.
Hope your Friday morning's off to a good start here at 6:16. New developments from that bombshell sex scandal swirling around Missouri Governor Eric Greitens. He admits to cheating on his wife, but denies he blackmailed the woman involved to keep her quiet. Well, now at least 2 Democratic lawmakers have called for him to resign. Others say they want to first see all the facts. Greitens denies allegations that he took nude photos of the woman and threatened to leak them if she went public with information on their extramarital affair.
Dozens of arrests in New York, even city council members ending up in handcuffs as people rally to support undocumented immigrants. Protesters gathered after ICE agents detained a prominent immigration advocate during a routine check-in.
Well, get this. One Pennsylvania community wants answers today after mysterious foam began appearing all around the community. The foam began showing up around a creek in Black Creek Township. Right now, tests are being conducted. EPA officials believe that it's soap originating from a local plant. It's unclear if that foam is dangerous.
The Monocacy River Bridge is back open this morning, a month ahead of schedule. In December, a beam was seriously damaged after a garbage truck crashed into it. Repairs were expected to take 60 days, but crews got them done in half the time.
Okay, a College Park man facing charges this morning after admitting to stealing hundreds of items from the National Archives.
French historian Antonin DeHaze pleaded guilty yesterday to stealing over 300 dog tags and more from archives in College Park. The items were all taken between 2012 and 2017. The thefts were discovered after DeHaze gifted a Virginia Beach museum a dog tag belonging to a former Tuskegee airman.
Someone that most of us respected for his research. To find out that he's been doing this for years is disgraceful.
DeHaze now faces a maximum of 10 years in prison.
As you know, Alabama won the National College Football Championship Monday night, but someone did their best to derail their goal by stealing one of the team's playbooks. Alabama defensive line coach Carl Dunbar sat his backpack down during a meeting at the team hotel. Inside the bag was a game day playbook, his phone, laptop, passport, and $1,300 in cash. It's a lot of money. A short time later, someone was caught on camera stealing it and walking out of the hotel. Alabama officials say they didn't even know about the theft until Wednesday. But he knew. $1,300, laptop, playbook.
Back within the next 10 minutes for a look at 66 coming out of Manassas. Larry?
Okay, Julie, 621, a trend on social media, a recipe for disaster. What teens are doing that could land them in the ER, and what you need to know about the Tide Pod Challenge. And the flu running rampant, more and more schools closing because of the bug, the public health emergencies that are now growing to alarming levels. But first, though, here's what we're working on for tonight at 5 o'clock.
Good morning, everyone. I'm ABC7's Allison Starling. Tonight at 5, we take you inside what's called one of D.C. Public Schools' best kept secrets.
It teaches you more than just engineering or carpentry. It teaches you about life.
The unique program where even the school is built by its students. In our Spotlight on Education. That's tonight on ABC7 News at 5.
You're watching Good Morning Washington on your side.
At 6:25 this morning, people across the country are battling one of the worst flu seasons in years. 46 states now reporting widespread illness. Schools are closing. Alabama declaring a public health emergency. Here's your GMA First Look.
Now, Good Morning Washington on your side.
Well, get ready to enjoy this. Stepping outside, it feels like spring.
Yeah, but don't be fooled. It's already snowing in the central states, and that winter weather is headed straight for us. It's here just for a moment. Let's enjoy it while we can.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. I'm Larry Smith.
And I'm Autria Godfrey. Eileen Whalen tracking the 60s today.
It's unbelievable. It's almost a little weirdly warm. We're taking a look at 66 coming in from Centerville. Autria.
Julie, at 6:33, a months-long mystery coming to a partial close. Police identifying remains found in Prince George's County as those of a 22-year-old D.C. man. Marty William McMillan was last seen in April. Family members say he was supposed to be going on a date with a woman he met on Plenty of Fish. According to a medical examiner, McMillan was shot and killed inside a D.C. apartment before his body was dumped in Suitland.
My family had already accepted that something was wrong. He just went to the wrong girl's house. Because these were not the people he thought they were.
A $25,000 reward is being offered to anyone who provides information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible.
A second night, a second deadly crash on Branch Avenue in Prince George's County. This happened around 6 o'clock last night when a woman was crossing the road at Iverson Street and she was hit by an SUV. Last night's accident, we'll take a look. It was only 4 blocks from the one that happened Wednesday night at St. Barnabas Road. In that wreck, a man was hit and killed by an oncoming car.
Well, to a dangerous new trend happening online. Teens now eating Tide Pods. Ryan Hughes, what on earth?
Yeah, Autry, we've heard of the cinnamon challenge. Well, now there is a new craze taking over the internet, but doctors are warning it can be extremely dangerous and land you in the emergency room. The pods also pose lethal risks for adults with dementia. Larry?
Okay, Ryan, well, thanks. Well, now to a 7 on your side I-Team investigation that we continue to follow. A 6-year-old is given milk at his elementary school in Northern Virginia that he says burned his throat. During lunchtime at Nativity Catholic School in Burke, Parker Toodles says he took a sip of his favorite Trumu fat-free chocolate milk, but says it wasn't chocolate or white milk. Instead, it was green and made his throat feel like it was on fire.
When I took a drink, it actually burned my throat. Like there was like 100 fires in it.
I was shocked because when you send your kid to school, you don't expect that when the school gives them milk that it's going to be anything other than milk.
Lehigh Valley Dairy Farms, the company that manufactures the milk, says someone made a mistake on a production line and somehow a chemical solution used to clean processing equipment ended up in milk cartons delivered to the school. Well, the boys' school pulled all the milk, and the school says it is no longer doing business with Lehigh Valley and is now buying milk from a company that provides clear cartons.
At 6:36, breaking this morning, thousands of people waking up without power in D.C. Our John Gonzalez is headed to South Dakota Avenue, where this is all developing. And Julie Wright is tracking the efforts to try and get the lights back on. Plus, as you step outside today, you are going to feel the warm up, but you're also going to be dealing with a little bit of this. Some rain coming down, as you can see the droplets there on the camera. Taking a live look out at the Capitol. Eileen Whalen is back with a check of your forecast after the break.
Take a look at this. Hundreds of people stuck on a train overnight in Japan. The train was forced to stop in the middle of the trip because of heavy snow, and this began a 10-hour-long evacuation. Fortunately, the train car did have electricity and heat. No reports of any injuries, but I cannot imagine that.
Well, that was the first thing that came to my mind was, oh no, do they not have heat on the train?
Yeah.
So at least they had that.
That was a good thing. So, okay, you've been talking about snow in the Midwest right now. Yes. Is that coming our way?
No, for the most part, it is just going to be rain. I mean, temperatures right now in the upper 50s to low 60s, Larry. We're looking at the ride on 395. Autria.
6:42 now, and this morning, outrage across the globe. President Trump's comments catching everyone by surprise. Suzanne Kennedy following this.
Autria, many are calling this language unpresidential. The reaction when we return.
You're watching Good Morning Washington on your side.
6:45 and breaking overnight, a suspicious death in Waldorf, and police now trying to identify the woman found dead along Old Washington Road. Take a look at your screen here. They're hoping these distinct tattoos can help them find out just who she is. Police tell us the victim is a black woman in her 30s with a design on her right inner wrist and a cherub angel on her shoulder. Call police if you know who she may be.
Well, developing overnight, people across the globe stunned.
President Trump dropping an expletive when referring to immigrants from certain countries. Suzanne Kennedy live in front of the White House with more this morning. Suzanne.
Good morning to both of you. Some media outlets are choosing to use the word verbatim. We are choosing not to. For Good Morning Washington in Northwest Washington, Suzanne Kennedy, back to you.
And Suzanne, since the president made those remarks, reaction has been pouring in. Everyone from lawmakers to the late night comedians. Ryan Hughes is tracking it all.
Yeah, and Altria, a lot of strong reaction from both Republicans and Democrats. Late night comedians just had a field day with this one. Here's a clip from Jimmy Kimmel on our air last night.
Only silver lining, and this is a small silver lining, but the only silver lining is we got to hear Wolf Blitzer say this all day.
S-hole, 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 blank hole.
Oh, what an S-hole. That would make a great alarm clock.
Yeah, Wolf Blitzer watching his words right there.
And that's not the only thing President Trump was up to. Breaking overnight, he was up late tweeting and said just before midnight that he's canceling a trip to England because of Barack Obama. Now, Trump was scheduled to cut the ribbon at the new U.S. Embassy in London next month, but he said the decision to sell the old embassy for, quote, peanuts was a bad idea. Mr. Trump calling out former President Barack Obama. In reality, that move was decided back in 2008 during the Bush administration. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will now reportedly take Trump's place at that grand opening. At 6:49, new overnight now. Searches in California only growing more desperate. Rescue crews now need to cover even more ground than they first thought, and they've expanded their search areas as they try to find survivors buried in fast-moving mud. 17 people now confirmed dead, and at least 8 others are missing. The youngest victim, just 3 years old. Tuesday's mudslides destroyed or damaged about 500 homes and businesses. Some people who made it out are now questioning why authorities called for a voluntary evacuation instead of ordering people to leave.
10 till 7 now, and charges this morning against a high school student accused of attacking 2 classmates. Police say 19-year-old Edwin Aguilar Martinez pulled a knife during a fight yesterday. It happened just after the morning bell at Central High School in Capitol Heights. 2 students were hurt. Martinez turned himself in and is now facing attempted murder, assault, and weapons charges.
Well, happening today, a hearing in a lawsuit against Massage Envy. A D.C. woman says a massage therapist there sexually assaulted her. Tara Woodley says it happened last September at the Tinleytown location. The massage therapist, 24-year-old Hamtu Gebrselassie, pled guilty last month. 3 other women say he also sexually assaulted them.
Well, new this morning, the singer Seal slamming Oprah for her Golden Globe speech that shed light on the recent wave of sexual assault allegations hovering around Hollywood. Seal took to Instagram claiming that Oprah heard about rumors of sexual misconduct involving Harvey Weinstein, but did nothing about it. The singer called the media mogul an example of, quote, sanctimonious Hollywood. And actor Mark Wahlberg reportedly refused to approve Christopher Plummer to replace Kevin Spacey in the movie All the Money in the World unless he was paid over $1 million for the reshoot. USA Today reports Wahlberg's contract gave him final approval over his co-stars. Earlier this week, we learned Michelle Williams was paid less than $1,000 for her participation in the reshoot. And that pay discrepancy now taking center stage at the Critics' Choice Awards last night.
Yeah, take a listen to this.
Oh, I do want to say, by the way, thank you to the producers for paying Niecy and I the same amount of money and Mark Wahlberg $1 million. I say what now? I know, he took a pay cut, so it's really nice and generous of him. Thank you so much.
Host Olivia Munn and Niecy Nash taking digs at how far Hollywood has to go, but one winner showed her appreciation for what's been done so far.
In the past weeks and months, we've been witnessing a movement in our industry and society. And I want to share this award with all the women and men who stand for what's right.
That's Gal Gadot. She won the See Her Award and dedicated the honor to victims of sexual assault.
All right, 8 till right now, and Eileen is here to get a check of a forecast that after weeks of the cold weather, you love talking about these 60s.
I do. I really do.
In just 2 weeks, Monster Jam rolling into Capital One Arena. The show is on January 27th, and Good Morning Washington wants to get you in for free. 703-528-7334. Call number 7 wins 4 tickets. So good luck.
Late night legend David Letterman is back on your TV. His new Netflix series starts streaming today, and it's called My next guest needs no introduction. The show kicks off with a pretty big get. Former President Obama, who says even though he made bold moves in the Oval Office, he's not quite as confident on the dance floor.
I have dad moves.
Yeah.
And I think the key is what we call staying in the pocket.
Sure.
Right?
Staying in the pocket.
You got to stay in the pocket. Because I think everybody here knows dads who get out of the pocket. And they're trying stuff that they can't really pull off.
Well, the series will be a total of 6 60-minute episodes with a new one out each month. He knows.
Yeah.
You know, he was mocked for wearing dad jeans.
Yeah. And
apparently it goes with his dad moves.
My kids will say, I do the Obama, and that's what they mean.
What's the Obama?
You keep it here. You keep it right here.
Okay.
You don't get too crazy, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this next one has everyone talking. Forget the chapel. You don't need the fake Elvis. If you go to Vegas, you can now get married as soon as you land.
You only have to make it as far as baggage claim. This is a special promotion for Valentine's Day and President's Day weekend.
It's a kiosk.
Like a little kiosk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A wedding kiosk at the airport at McCarran.
Right next to the divorce kiosk as well. Coming soon. All right,
Here's
time
your
now.
60-second express.
Incomprehensible that these words came out of the mouth of the president.
It is crude, the president saying that he didn't want immigrants from S-hole countries coming into the United States.
President Trump just before midnight on Twitter saying he is canceling a trip to London out of anger at the U.S., blaming the Obama administration's decision to sell the old embassy for, quote, peanuts.
The remains found in the woods on Suitland Parkway back in October are indeed Marty McMillan's. After telling his father that he was going on a date set up on the popular dating app Plenty of Fish.
Just went to the wrong girl's house.
The trip feeder, that is causing about 3,600 people to wake up in the dark this morning. You are going to find that there are a number of traffic signals that are out.
One Pennsylvania community wants answers today after mysterious foam began appearing all around Black Creek Township. It's unclear if that foam is dangerous.
The only silver lining is we got to hear Wolf Blitzer say this all day.
S-hole, 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 S-hole.